Okay. And then before we start homing in more specifically on Sudan, what are some key things we can keep in mind about data and analytics post-COVID? So, post-COVID versus pre-COVID.
I think there was always a big drive towards this domain or this topic, even pre-COVID. I think all that COVID has done is that it's highlighted, or fast-tracked a little bit in the kind of visibility possibly, or the desire, but it was there beforehand. For me, I find it interesting during the COVID times how important data actually was in terms of defining government responses globally to the pandemic, and highlighting for some of those countries and those political leaders, their kind of it helped draw out their roadmap out of and into and out of lockdowns. Even today, we still have in the UK, for example, stats around infection numbers, deaths, but also vaccination. And really it's interesting to me to see how that is intrinsically become aligned with kind of the way that people feel about the situation. Data is actually giving them hope, but also protecting them, because when that's what your infection rate or your R rate is, it's ultimately keeping you safe because you're taking more precautions, you're using data, and in your day-to-day life, you're being data-driven. So I think whether individuals on like a local level or a basic level realize that, but actually this situation has made every single one of us a bit more data-driven in our day-to-day life and our approach. So if I were to say, the difference between pre-COVID and post-COVID is that every single person is now more data-driven.
Mm-hmm. And as well, in addition to what you mentioned, we are getting some data around local infections, or areas with local infections, and living in a particular area, you can easily click a button and you can see the trend. And I assume people would be making decisions about where they live based on that, or have been moving around based on locations where the infections were low, etc. So very much so. It is, data is almost this thing in the background that's, helping us maneuver through our life decisions without us putting a name to it. So, okay. So then now I'd